What's good, YouTube? Flan Speaks back for another video, man. So Stephen A. Smith comes on his podcast that he does like later in the day after First Take, and he speaks on the Shannon Sharpe situation. And he gives more reasons why people who don't like him, you know. And Shannon Sharpe, I tell you, man, this is why, brothers, man, I'm always preaching about, you need to have yourself a tribe. You need to have a tribe of men, and a tribe of families that are like-minded thinkers, man. And these are the people that hold you accountable, that you hold accountable. Because, listen, man, you see what's happening with Shannon Sharpe, and this is happening all over the place. When you become a successful man and you have assets, people covet what you have. And listen, I'm not going to leave the women out of this too, because women are very important in this situation as well. But brothers, when you out there and you successful, man, you make it up there, you got all this money, you got all this fame, you got to now be extra vigilant. You got to be extra careful, because listen, everyone and their mama is out there trying to covet what you got, because most people are not like spiritually adept. Most people don't understand that the value of money, or people got it twisted what it is. Sure, money is important. Sure, you kind of need it to a degree here. I get it. There's a lot of comforts that comes with having wealth that is, generational. Your kids will be fine, your grandkids, all of that is fine. However, none of it is guaranteed, but we're not going to get into that. I'm not going to sit here and preach, man. But I know the old time tested traditional ways of the marriage bond, where you take the hand of a woman from her father, in exchange for a dowry, is like old-fashioned. I know it's not fun, it's not exciting, it's not illicit, it's not boring, but I tell you what, that shit protects you. That shit protects you, bro. Just being out here feeling like you protected because you got lawyers, thinking because you got money to pay for this and pay for that, and you got this image of you such and such, and in his case, he shay. Don't protect you, bro. You need a tribe. You need men. You need a marriage. You need a bond that takes place between an agreement between a father and a man. It has to be man-on-man agreements. This is what tradition has always told us. This is why in a marriage, even in Western society, because I'm not gonna come here and preach my personal thing, because like y'all ain't ready for all that. You're not. But even in traditional marriage, you have the father bringing the daughter down, right? It's always a man there bringing a woman down, because traditionally it's an agreement between two men, and this knocks out a lot of bullshit. There's a wisdom in the way the ancients did things, man. Like a lot of us, we want to sit back and laugh at our tradition. We want to laugh at those who did things back in ancient times. Bruh, when it comes to certain things, like a man and a woman getting together, that's just biology. Ain't nothing new under the sun, bruh. Ain't no reinventing the wheel. It's all the same. Man get horny, woman get horny. They get together, they want to go have some fun. Okay, I get it. We believe this is just cool, and they get the consent and all of that. But now what happens when you got these problems that come about? And don't get me wrong, when I talk marriage, I ain't talking in this traditional sense. I'm not talking in this modern sense of where you go down to City Hall and you got to go and pay for a marriage license. And then when shit don't go right, you got to go through this whole song and dance of like giving up half your wealth and all of that, man. I don't even recommend going down to City Hall for anything, much less marriage. I would not put my fate in their hands for anything, right? What you got to have, though, is a tribe that you're accountable to, man. Like when you take a woman, you got to be accountable to that woman's father. You got to be accountable to that woman's family. And they got to be accountable to yours. Two families coming together, witnessing what's happening, right? I know it's old fashioned, I know it's boring, but it knocks out a lot of this bullshit, man. And it's just that simple. Marriage was always an institution that either took place religiously or it was just something that happened at the tribal level. My family coming together with your family. I'm handing my daughter over to you as a trust, right? This knocks out all of that. Oh my God, he sexually assaulted me, twice and all this other shit. What you mean? Me and your dad had an agreement. So that knocks all that out. Now, I know this ain't like, your typical nice little talk. It's a little different, right? But I'm sorry. I have a solution-based mindset when it comes to things, especially when it comes to nonsense. And this is just another example of that. We are people who don't want to follow rules. We don't want to be disciplined. We don't want to go that route, which is really the route that's going to create the world that we say we want. We want to be people who just follow whatever our desires want. Your body tells you it's horny time. Let me go find some of these bitches. Yeah, man, we're going to get together. We're going to do this and that. Women, on the other hand, all right, for some of them, it ain't really as much horny time. It's like, we're going to get with these dudes that's getting it, that's doing this and doing that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's a way to enrich themselves, And this is what you find happening in this situation, man. That's just all it is. It's the same human being. Players change, but the game stays the same, bro. And there's a reason why tradition is the way it is. Because they done went through all this BS thousands of years ago. With the rapist man or the lying woman. Because we don't know. It's one or the other, right? I have a hard time personally believing that somebody raping you 2-3 times, multiple times, like that shit don't fly with me. But the problem is, who's accountable to who, man? Where's the accountability? There's no, you see what I mean? There's a woman out there on her own thinking she don't need no man that's like helping her with the situation with another man, right? So let's just say the man Shannon Sharpe, he don't know this woman's father. He's just dealing directly with the woman. So you understand what I'm saying? If you're dealing with a father, that changes things. Now it's a man dealing with a man. And I know you sisters believe, y'all big and all. I get it. Y'all queens and all that, but this is the deal. The psychology of a man respects another man. If you want to get in a relationship with a man, but you don't have no male representation behind you, that'll stomp a mud hole in somebody's ass or whatever, you already open for whatever. Believe that. You open for whatever. Most men that have bad intentions, once they see that you got a father involved, that's like really involved, or they see you got brothers that's involved or anything like that, they gonna roll if they got bad intentions. A dude with good intentions, he'll present himself to your father, to your brothers, to your uncles, to whoever, your grandfather, whatever. That's the difference, right? So this is the world we in, man. The tribal system has been broken down, doesn't exist anymore, so there's no accountability. The idea of being accountable to the state is bullshit. That's never the way society was ever run. So, you know what I mean? We just learning on the fly and figuring things out, right? Except for those of us who study the traditional way of doing things and adhere to traditional ways to do things, right? Have you a band of brothers that hold you accountable and that you hold them accountable? And let that be, your circle of influence, right? This social media thing is false, it's phony, man. Half of y'all hiding your faces like a bunch of little punks anyway, right? What does it mean? So that's all I pretty much got on that, man. And Stephen A. Smith, man, whew, well, crazy, man. Peace out.